Did you know that the mojito was originally invented in the late 16th century and was originally called the El Draque? The story goes that sailors on the ship of Sir Francis Drake in 1586 began to mix their aguardiente, which was an early crude version of rum. Then they mixed that with lime and sugar and mint to create the El Draque, or the original mojito. The drink, however, didn't take on the name Mojito until the 19th century, when it first appeared in print in the 1920s and 30s. It substituted the aguardiente with white rum, which for that today I'm using Plan-A-Ray, and kept the sugar, lime, and mint, but took on the name Mojito as opposed to the El Draque. Then, in the 1920s and 30s, it achieved fame in the United States, with many attributing that success, at least the initial success, to Ernest Hemingway and his affinity for this drink. Now, I'm going to show you the way that I like to make this drink. You might not like it. You might. Whichever way that's okay. This, in my opinion, is a really great way to do it, but if you want to do it some other way, you know what I say. Do it how you like it, and you'll never go wrong. So, what we're going to start with is our small shaker tin and our mint leaves. We're going to take just these bottom leaves off and drop them right in the tin. We're taking the bottom leaves so that we can save the top leaves for a little mint bouquet at the end. And these bottom leaves are good and chock full of flavor. We're going to do, I'd say 8 to 10 leaves in the bottom of the tin. You can do more if you like. If you really like mint flavor like I do, I might sometimes throw in 12. I mean, it really depends. You can get crazy and just do all kinds of mint. So once that's in the bottom, I'm going to then put some lime wedges that I just sliced in. I'm going to try to put them in as best I can, skin down, so that two things happen. One, I'm not crushing into the peels, which can have a little bit of bitterness in them, and I'm not smashing the mint all apart. What we don't want is for the mint to be destroyed and all the chlorophyll to be released, because that'll give us a lot of bitterness that we don't want. Now, I'm going to give this just a little bit of a muddle. Again, we're trying to juice the wedges and get the effervescence and the oils out of the peels, but we are not trying to smash everything into a paste or a lot of pulp. So we're just going to give this a gentle press down. We're not even going to twist. We're just going to give this a gentle press down so that we can squeeze out that juice, squeeze out those oils, and activate the oils that are in the mint without damaging the mint leaves as best we can. Now, that process is going to add a lot of lime juice to the cocktail. That might be enough for you. I like to go ahead and throw in an extra 3/4 of an ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice so that it's nice and fresh and citrusy the way that it's supposed to be. Now, here's one of our first deviations from the original recipe. The original recipe calls for simple syrup, just regular 1-to-1 simple syrup. We're going to use agave syrup. And the reason why, agave, in my opinion, just has a lot of good character that pairs with the rum really well, gives it a really great sweetness and a really great flavor. You're welcome to use simple syrup. You can even try using some turbinado or some demerara syrup to keep some of that molasses in there and pair a molasses spirit with a molasses syrup. But I like agave. I'm going to throw this in there. I like to do about a solid 1/2 ounce. Agave is a little sweeter, in my opinion, than 1-to-1 simple syrup. And so 1/2 ounce will do fine. But if you need it sweeter or you like it sweeter, go up to 3/4 of an ounce. Don't let me tell you how much syrup to put in there. You do you, boo. Now, for the star of the show, we're going to throw in here 2 ounces of white rum. You can use any rum you like. I'm using Plan-A-Ray. I highly recommend this if you haven't tried it. But if you've got a favorite rum, go for it. Now, we're going to add some crushed ice and do what they call a whip shake. A whip shake is really useful for when you know the exact amount of dilution that you would like. And it's useful in this scenario because it's not large rocks ice that's going to crush our mint too much. So this is going to be gentle and give us the exact amount of water that we want in the cocktail when we pour it into the glass. It's about a half a scoop of ice. Once we have about a half a scoop in there, we're going to grab our larger tin. We're going to shake this like normal until we don't hear the ice clattering around in there anymore. Essentially, all of the ice has dissolved, melted. There's our chilled ghost glass right on time. That's perfect. Now most of that ice is melted, not all of it, but most of it's melted, and that's good enough for our purposes. We're gonna do what I call dirty dump right into the glass. We want all that stuff in there, all those oils, all those mint leaves, all those things I want in the glass. You don't have to put it in the glass. You can strain it out if you like, but I think it holds a more consistent flavor and a better flavor if you have all of that in there. Now, we're gonna top this up with our pebble ice. Whatever pebble ice you have works. This is just ice from the freezer, all crushed up. Now, the next thing that we're gonna do that's a little bit not traditional, the last part of the mojito recipe is that it gets topped with a little bit of soda water. We are gonna top it with soda water, but we're not gonna use plain soda water. We've got a passion fruit soda water that we're gonna use. I think that's gonna give it a zesty little flavor. But you can do what you want. If that really bothers you that it's flavored, then use regular, no big deal. We're gonna top ours up with some soda. We're gonna stick our bar spoon down in the side and just give it a little bit of a frothy little stir just to mix everything in nice and awesome. And then for the end part, we're gonna choose some of our mint here. Actually, I'm not gonna choose. I'm not gonna choose at all. I'm gonna bring them all with me. We're gonna create a good mint bouquet, smack in those herbs to make sure we release the oils because it's important for that to be on the nose. I'm gonna throw that mint bouquet right on top. Spread out the leaves a little so she looks nice and pretty. And there we have a modern version of the 16th century drink, the Mojito. Now you can make one and ask your friends, did you know? Oh yes, Leo approves. Best summer drink ever.